Hi everybody and welcome to another gear review video. Do you remember the bite fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield? The bite fight is a very famous boxing fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, where Iron Mike took a bite out of Evander's ear. And the product packaging here for the Knockout 2 from Teenage Engineering actually reminded me of that old fight. Right. Before we dive into the technical details and talk about the specifications and how this compares to other samplers, let's do a little jam and hear how it sounds. Okay, so that was a quick beat using some of the internal samples that ships with the Knockout 2 and also some sampled piano that I sampled with a built-in microphone. Yeah, so without going too deep into the editing functionalities of the Knockout 2, I feel that we should talk about the important thing here. What kind of performance options do you actually have with the Knockout 2? I've seen quite a few Knockout 2 videos, but not many of them talk about the options you actually have for performing live with the Knockout 2. So let's take the tour. So first out we can use muting. We can actually mute one or multiple groups. And you mute a group by holding down the group, one or multiple groups. And you drag the fader all to the bottom. And you get to see this mute icon in the top of the screen. And when you want to exit the mute for that specific group or multiple groups, you hold down these groups and you drag the fader to the top again. And keep in mind that you need to drag the fader all to the top to get the maximum volume again back on the groups. Because you're actually controlling the volume when you hold down a group and drag the fader. Next up you have the performance effects. Like you saw in the intro, you can punch in 12 different effects to get the variation into your beats. Your third option is scene or pattern switching. Now the Knockout 2 hasn't any dedicated song mode, but you can do this manually. To switch a scene, you hold down main and press plus or minus. And you can also enter a number and press enter. Respectively, to switch a pattern, you hold down a group and press plus or minus, and it will switch a pattern for that specific group. Next up you have the fader, so while you're playing some fire beats, make use of the fader to introduce effects on individual groups. Keep in mind that the fader works on the selected group in question. So as far as I know, it's only possible to use the fader to control the effects on a single group at a time. Next in line we have the send effects. Press the effects button and select one of the multiple effects. Let's select the delay and use the X and Y knobs here to control the parameter values for that specific effect. You can use the send effects parameters in combination with the fader when it's attached to control the effect amount to get some really crazy stuff going. Now for the final performance effect on my list, the looper. Activate the looper to get some cool repeats going. You can control the looper with the X and Y knobs to set position and loop length. Okay, so what kind of pocket is the Knockout 2 going to fill in the sampler space, where we have the machine, we have the Digitac, the OPZ, the Liven, we have the Poly and Play and the SP404. I personally feel that the Knockout 2 really lends itself for live performance and quick beat making rather than like full song creations. While the Knockout 2 features very limited editing capabilities, it's actually super simple to sample into the Knockout 2. The sampler in the Knockout 2 actually features time stretching, and it's really important if you want single sample instruments to sound decent across multiple octaves. And like Chris wrote on my first Knockout 2 short, is this gonna be the timeless Casio Sampler or a quick rise and fall pocket operator due to the limited performance options? Well, I guess we'll have to see, but I actually feel that the build quality of the Knockout 2 feels quite good. I mean, it's all plastic mostly, but It actually feels quite sturdy, except for maybe the fader, which you have to be a little bit careful with. Now, I've read across a few different forums and watched a few videos about people talking about breaking their fader, so be careful when you attach the knob to the top of your fader. Right, so while talking build quality, I feel that the click sound from the buttons is actually quite satisfying. It doesn't sound as obtrusive as the click sound that you have in the Elektron boxes, because they have this metal enclosure and it's a bigger box that gets more resonance from the buttons, and you can see this is a quite slim design here on the Knockout II, so you don't get any resonance from the buttons. But if we do compare the click sound with the OP1 Field, the OP1 Field is obviously a more silent device and better for couch playing and playing in the bed. Right, so that's all for this video on the Knockout II. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments if you want to see more content and videos on the Knockout II and maybe more tutorials and stuff. Right, so see you in the next video. My name is Mattias. Bye.